All right, the final preview. I haven't watched this yet, so my first reaction, and this is the wrap up of the IGN first. If you don't know, IGN's first is pretty much they cover that whole game of the whole month, give you interviews, gameplays, and stuff like that. All right, let's get it.
On day 3 of my visit to Capcom in Osaka, Japan, I once again sat in a dimly lit conference room. I was playing Monster Hunter Wilds, empty cans of coffee and tea.
Oh yeah,
on my
this is
station.
just our
"You must
thoughts.
be tired of being stuck in here playing," said a friendly employee. And all I could think was, I wish I could play more. This is after I played the first 5 hours of Monster Hunter Wilds story and hunted 4 monsters in the Oilwell Basin in a different playstate.
I'm still stuck between Dual Blades and Sword and Shield. But when the beta come out, by the time the beta's over, I'm gonna be ready. We're gonna do a stream, and we're gonna do all that just to figure it out. Probably Dual Blades, high key.
It comes with the territory. But because of my limited time, I needed to focus on the main story. That's fine. After this hands-on, I know I'll enthusiastically spend hundreds more hours in the game once it's out. Exactly how everything works through repetition and experimentation. I am a guides writer. It comes with the territory.
So this is a hill,
But because of
bruh.
my limited time, I needed to focus.
Just to let y'all know, Hunter Norton's gonna be my second. After seeing that, Hunter Norton's gonna be my second. You know, I might have to bunk something out the air a little bit. You know, hey.
On the main story. That's fine. After this hands-on, I know I'll enthusiastically spend hundreds more hours in the game once it's out.
Hey.
I beelined it through the story to make sure I could see everything I could, and in doing so, I crafted and upgraded only
Hold
what
on.
I could as I
Hold on. I just want to
and
get
in
a good
doing
look.
So, I crafted and upgraded.
So this is Sword and Shield. Oh, okay, I mean, that is one of the first monsters, so I can't expect it to look too crazy. But they said it's gonna be unique designs, so that's what I'm hoping for. Cause world base weapons,
Only what I could
trash.
as I went.
Alrighty.
That's the basic loop of Monster Hunter. Hunt monster, make better equipment, hunt stronger monster, and sometimes hunt something multiple times to get what you need. With my minimal preparation, I hunted the first 7 monsters.
Oh, I like the way the
Kamatrice, Congalala, Lalabarina, Balahara, Dashaguma, and finally a repel quest for the Leviathan, Uthduna, without much trouble
Leviathan.
and never once carded. When I played
You
Monster
never-
Hunter
what?
World for the very
What?
first time, even Tobi Kadachi gave me trouble, so I was surprised to encounter such little friction while playing Wilds. I was actually so surprised that I went back and replayed the story in Monster Hunter World through Anjanath, the 7th large monster. Well, the answer is, I've just gotten a whole lot better since I first played World, even though by that point I had been playing Monster Hunter since the very first one on PlayStation 2. I easily ripped through everything in World up to Anjanath, who then made me sweat a bit before I defeated it on my first try.
I think we're going.
It's funny because I felt the same as when I played Monster Hunter Rise. I thought to myself, this feels so much easier, and in some ways this could be because of the fun zippy wire bug mechanic and other factors, but that feeling was largely due to
I'll
my
go Dual
increased skill
Blades.
as a player
I love
after
this.
600
I love how
hours in
fast I
World
am.
and Iceborne. That's not to say I'm now some pro-level
Death by
Monster
1,000
Hunter. I'm
cuts.
certainly no speedrunner, but I've improved enough to notice. I'm bringing this up because I often see this lamentation in the community, questioning, perhaps is Monster Hunter simply getting easier? I would suggest that we may just be growing into better hunters.
That makes sense.
Things are certainly becoming more
Oh,
streamlined and accessible. See optimal health
I
and
could do
status recovery, and
bow.
the focus mode that makes it easier to aim.
No, I need to
But
go
the
bow and
developers'
Dual
goals don't
Blades.
suggest they intend to make Monster Hunter easier. Monsters have been adjusted to account for the new focus and wound systems, and the art director and executive director of Wilds, Kaname Fujioka, said the difficulty in Wilds generally follows suit from World. Series producer Ryozo Sugimoto added, "We've been incredibly careful in Wilds to guide players to the fun of Monster Hunter without changing the core of the series. And I very much feel that.
Okay.
Wilds immediately directs players into the meat of what Monster Hunter really is.
Oh, can you
Hunting
change the
different
color?
monsters that could be set-piece bosses in other games. The main mission smoothly integrates.
Yeah, but we're gonna figure it out in the beta, so don't worry about it.
Part of the story, which is a wonderful way to teach players about these necessary activities without them feeling like a as part of the story, which is a wonderful way to teach players about these necessary activities without them feeling like a roadblock.
If it's honey you're after, I know the perfect spot.
I admit I'm conflicted about all of these upgrades. I find myself always wanting to pull a back in my day and describe some archaic, ludicrous thing we used to have to do just to get by to be able to enjoy the game. Like delivering explosive powder stones from the top of a volcano while avoiding Gravios and Ioprey, and then doing it 3 more times because the quest didn't count as cleared unless you were the one who posted it and your whole party of 4 needed to clear it to join the next quest. I suppose I'm trying to say Monster Hunter has come a long way, and making it less convoluted and stripping away its non-essential bits and pieces has made it more palatable to a much
like it was
crowd.
terrible back
Now
then.
it's largely just delectable meat with the occasional bone and dessert. There are no bitter vegetables to power through to be able to enjoy everyone's favorite parts, except maybe grinding for a specific material.
What do you think we'll find?
And while on one hand I'm overjoyed that so many people have grown to truly enjoy something I love, there was something about being one of the few who prided themselves on eating their vegetables with a smile on their face. Even so, the evolution of Monster Hunter has continued to impress me. The nostalgia I have for how things used to be doesn't cloud my judgment enough to make me misremember how I actually felt more often than not about needing to gather dozens of mushrooms and herbs and wyvern eggs before I could just finally hunt. This is tedious, and my god, please just let me kill a monster. Wilds delivers the thrill of hunting a monster faster than ever before. The main story immediately spits you into the thick of things, and you'll have hunted your first large monster in the first 20 minutes after customizing your character in Palico. There are no
in World it took you a while.
You are one of the chosen hunters to protect your fleet from the big bads, and so that's what you do.
You're okay now.
The action of these monster hunting quests are seamlessly woven together with narrative tasks that drive the story and exciting cutscenes that drop you right into the fray.
We'll meet up later.
Travel is often accompanied by NPCs who progress the story with dialogue, so little time is wasted. The entire experience feels full and is structured like a more traditional RPG, as you aren't posting quests from a board and loading into a map like in previous Monster Hunters.
That's good.
At the same
That's
time,
good.
You still have robust freedom to explore and discover things on your own without having your hand held. I'll need to play more to discover exactly how the new decoration system and ingredient farming work, but it does appear you'll still need to keep up on eating and inventory management yourself to be the best hunter you can be. I do hope there are challenges ahead that will require adequate preparation to succeed, as that's where I think Monster Hunter shines its brightest. But I do believe I may have encountered at least one of those in the Oil Well Basin.
I think these might be tracks.
Okay. So while we watch this, we're gonna reflect. So basically, people were saying that the game is got a lot easier, but it could be just us getting better. From what, hold on.
We discussed the Oil Well Basin and the 4 monsters I hunted there at length in our interview with the developers, but to summarize, Rompopolo, Ajaraken, Gravios, and the area's apex, the Black Flame New Udra, inhabit the Oil Well Basin, which is designed to be more vertically connected rather than the more horizontally laid out Windward Plains and Scarlet Forest.
I love the way
Though
this
it's filled
looks.
with lava and mucky oil silt, it's inspired by the deep sea and the inhabitants of the ocean floor. This is much more apparent during the plenty, especially at night, where deep into the Oil Well Basin takes on an ethereal blue hue to contrast its muddy palette during the fallow and the bright, burning red oranges of the fire spring. The change in climate sometimes made me feel like I was in an entirely different place, and this was even more pronounced in the Oil Well Basin. The appearance even changes quite drastically from day to night, which add even more variety to these vast, large, diverse maps, meant to be 2 to 2.5 times the size of the maps in World. I feel like I barely got a handle on the layout of the Oil Well Basin while hunting, and will likely need to make a concerted effort to learn its flow and remember where things are, like the very helpful environmental traps. As for the monsters
Knowledge is half
there,
the fight,
they were
so
a
I
unique
understand.
and impressive bunch. Rompopolo is absolutely grotesque and makes great use of its environment by injecting gas into the ground to cause large explosions that bubble.
So let's take a pause right here, okay? Let's just kind of go over everything like when the ad was happening. Okay, so this is 802. So basically, what we got so far is the game feels easier for this person because they've been playing for a while. Maybe World was harder for them, but they probably just gotten a lot better in World, so they didn't cart as much. All right. Second, they took out all the unnecessary things and then they just kind of made it a lot better and a lot more approachable for the new player coming in. You don't have to deal with certain things now. You don't have to, they kind of explain everything so it doesn't feel like when you start playing, like for real, you don't know anything. It's not like a roadblock or you're missing information or anything like that. They made the story, it seems like the story is actually going to have your characters talking. That was something I hated in World. I hate games where you make your character and you don't talk. I would rather not like my character than be a mute character, just doing the hand signals and the head signals and all that other stuff. Like, I just never liked that. And Oyowo Basin was really good. It showed once I didn't know it was going to be like that. I thought it was going to be just like one layout, kind of like that map that we seen from the beta, but this is something completely different. I think I'm gonna like this map the most. This is all we've seen, but if this is the only map that's like this, it's probably gonna be my favorite map. We know Monster Hunter is where you're gonna have to kill multiple monsters to get the gears. The better the gear, you might have to kill multiple monsters, kill them multiple times because sometimes you might not get it. We already know that you can craft your decos again. But for multiple, the decos was just more than one. You're gonna have to it's gonna be kind of RNG for that, which is good because now you can kind of have like a starter build, and then the stuff that you really need to get into, so you can kind of max out your build is you're gonna have to farm for. So it's still you still gotta play the game to get the stuff. So pretty much, I can already tell based off how this goes, this person can't wait to play this game. I mean, this person sounds like they were a big Monster Hunter fan in the first place, and I'm kind of upset that I didn't play Monster Hunter back then. I think I knew about it, but I was like, I was more like Ninja Gaiden and all that other stuff. So, but yeah, let's just keep watching. I kind of want to take a pause, make sure everybody kind of was following on what was going on, and I don't want to just look at the video and do all that. But so far, I'm liking what I'm seeing. This whole month, I feel like this was just something needed to happen because I wanted to know more information, and IGN provided that information. We got more gameplay. More people probably going to just look at this gameplay and point out stuff that we never even knew about. And I love that. I love trying to figure out what we didn't catch or anything like that. We got less than a month, so we should be good.
Bubble up from beneath the oil silts. When I beat it down enough, it deflated. A hilariously sad sight I was delighted to experience. I can see a Jarrakin giving some players a bit of trouble. It's an
I will say this. I have a problem choosing my main in this game because my favorite two weapons in World were Sword and Shield and Dual Blades. Granted, I could take both, so I mean, it really doesn't matter. But I don't think it would be a good idea to take both. I want to main one. I like having my idea of just one. That's why when the beta come out, we just gonna kind of do our thing.
Fane Beast that's aggressive, fast, and strong. It also just looks.
And we're gonna have open lobbies and all of that.
When it gets ramped up, is magnificent. As is
yes.
One of its strongest attacks, which looks kind of like a fiery Sonic the Hedgehog homing attack.
I love
Gradios,
that.
The returning monster has been a pain in the ass to fight in previous games with its hardy HP pool and super tough defenses. I found fighting it in Wilds much more enjoyable. Its hitboxes are more finely tuned, and the developers were able to gradate the toughness
you
of
see
its
how you can
body specifically.
See, that's the thing I like about that. You can, as you're attacking, you can move side to side, and that's probably what's going to draw me to Sword and Shield and Wilds. But you know, Dual Blades is just, it just looks cool. It's flashy, kind of like Tegan off of Demon Slayer. You know, you got to be flashy. I'm not in the mood to say how he said it yet.
So it was easier to land hits on the points I actually wanted to get at. I also didn't get hit by seemingly unfair hip checks, which was a welcome change.
Oh
Rather,
no!
this is a new
And
attack the devs were
speaking of that, World got some very questionable hitboxes, especially on Valkana. When the Valkana is like doing a little tail jab, even if it doesn't hit you, sometimes you'll take the hit if you like don't even like try to dodge. Like there's been times where I was doing AT Valkana and oh my god, I was getting so upset just trying to beat the person, because sometimes beat the monster, because sometimes I wasn't getting hit and I would still take damage, and the breath would just go through everything, and I didn't know it went through literally everything, like even like the some of the walls and all that other stuff.
happy to be able to implement too. A beam focused on the ground that turns the immediate surroundings into
I
molten rock that
eventually
persists with a
beat
fiery effect
Valkana,
for a few
you know, AT
seconds.
Valkana a couple times, so, but still, it was just a pain. And I'm not a
When it
speedrunner.
comes to the Apex New Udra, wow, that thing is awesome, and it also really threatened to kick my ass. It's the only monster that carded me during my playtime with Wilds, and I had the hardest time getting a read on its movements and intentions. New
Ooh.
Udra is an octopus-like cephalopod that uses a skeleton entirely new to the monster.
Sword and
Hunter
Shield
series.
looks like it's about
So,
to be
of course, I
crazy
wouldn't have
with the
any familiarity
mobility.
to rely on. Its tentacles can all move independently of each other, and it hits hard. It's unpredictable.
If you don't know,
multi-directional
I am
tactics
gonna have a
first,
squad when the
meaning that
game
your
come
friends,
out.
or at
All
least
right, I'm
NPC
gonna have a
support
full
members, too.
squad, but
New Udra is uniquely
we will be doing open lobbies on the nights where my squad isn't there or I'm playing by myself. Feel free to try to join. I'm letting anybody join me. I'm just not gonna be joining anybody until, you know, I, you know, get to a good point where I can start. I feel like I can help people.
beautiful. The sensory organs on the tips of its tentacles.
Yeah, I know we
glow
got
when you intently use
guides,
them in an attack,
gameplay,
and occasionally
commentary,
covers itself in oil
news,
silk and
updates,
engulfs
all that
itself in
coming
flames.
when the game release.
Another cool use of the environment by an oil well basin inhabitant. One of its attacks even resembles a dangerous fireworks display.
I like that. Like those are my
True,
the
New
Educarin
Udra
and
is an impressive sight to behold.
Una.
A slithering, octopus-like,
Udra? I
menacing
forgot to
creature
say the
engulfed
name.
in flame,
Those are
hell-bent
my
on your
favorite
destruction.
monsters.
I'm really looking forward to how this creature is incorporated into Monster Hunter Wilds story too. I had
Oh,
no
wait.
real context around the monster hunts in my time in the Oil Well Basin, as I could only really experience the hunts themselves after the quest start and before the quest complete screen. So all I can really tell you is that the
Oh.
monsters I fought in this build were high rank, as well as my equipment. The builds I played in graphics mode on the PS5 also performed significantly better than the open beta test. The monsters and environments acted as they were meant to, for the most part, and I didn't experience any jarring graphical issues or bugs.
Okay.
This comes with the caveats that I was offline playing in single player, and that I, personally, probably wouldn't notice if there was a small graphical stutter while fighting for my life. But if you're in it for the gameplay, I can confidently say that Monster Hunter Wilds works well and looks good, in my opinion. I'm especially impressed by the fire and lava effects I saw in the Oil Well Basin.
Oh.
Wow, what a view!
Wait, turn over
One
here.
of
Turn
my
over here.
biggest curiosities
Oh!
is how story progression will work in multiplayer. Fire
Wait,
and lava
just
effects
look
I
at- Just look at that. Wait,
saw in the Oil Well Basin.
I do like that over there.
What a view!
Man, this looks
One
so
of my biggest
good.
curiosities is how Wild story progression will work in multiplayer, as it's one of the best parts about Monster Hunter, and
Yeah.
something I haven't been able to experience in Wilds outside of the open beta test. But I'm told you'll be able to play through the story with friends without the roadblocks encountered in World, which is the most important factor to me.
Thank you. Oh my. Okay. If you watching this and you're excited about Wilds and don't understand why I just did that, let me tell you, because I knew this from the beta, but I just wanted people to know, hear it from somebody else. So it's a sign of relief, because trying to play the story with someone in World is a pain, because one, you got to go into the quest, right? You got to see the cutscene. By the way, the cutscenes are not skippable. So you have to watch them unless you know on PC you put them out or whatever. But just regular vanilla world, you're not skipping the cutscenes because they're not skippable, right? So you gotta watch it. Mind you, the character doesn't do anything. It's just people talking to you. You just, you know, you move, putting your hand to them, you know, just doing your mute. All right. Another thing, after you do that, then you could kind of shoot the flare or whatever. Then people can join you. But if you're playing with someone, they also have to do the cutscene, I believe. And then they have to leave and then come join you, or you have to leave and go join them. So imagine trying to do this with like 4 people, and it's just a pain. It's just a pain. And apparently they fixed it in Rise. I played like an hour of Rise, maybe a little bit over, but I didn't really like play Rise like that because it's just the graphics to me, I just couldn't do it. And by the time I got Rise, it was already too close to Wilds for me to even try to do it because I didn't want to start over again just to start over again, if that makes sense. So I was like, I'll just keep playing World until Rise come. Anyway.
The impressive variety of monsters in Monster Hunter.
Oh my God, that monster looks so.
And the environments I've seen so
Let me look at it again.
The impressive
Look,
variety of monsters in Monster Hunter Wilds, both
bro. I can't be the only one that's excited to fight this monster right here. Like, this monster look like it's about to be some heat. Well, it's about to be. Well, you get it. I don't know what to say because it's the water. You know, it's a water type, but you get what I'm saying.
Appearance and behavior.
Bro, this reminds me of what is this? This reminds me of Ancient Forest.
Have so much attention to detail.
I'm so excited. I haven't been so
developers
excited
put
for a
into the
game
series.
like this in a
This
while,
is
bro.
especially so after speaking with them about it. Truthfully, I could yap about Monster Hunter for days, but I'll leave it at this. I can't wait to sink another 300 hours into a new Monster Hunter.
By the way, I have over, I don't know how much time I have. I know for a fact I have at least over 300 hours on PC Monster Hunter. Mind you, I started playing on PlayStation, so. And I told you, and we're not gonna finish this, but yeah, pretty much everybody's excited for Monster Hunter. I haven't heard anybody else. This is one game I personally haven't heard anyone try to like talk crap about, as far as people being like excited for the game. A lot of people are saying I don't pre-order games, but I'll pre-order Wilds because Monster Hunter's never let me down. And honestly, I'm super jealous of the people that have that knowledge because I wish I was one of those people that have the knowledge. But I'm here and I ain't going nowhere now because I'm kind of like on that. I'm not really pre-ordering because how games has been going, but this was a game I had to pre-order. And yeah. Anyway, this was a nice preview. This is a nice preview, nice IGN first. I haven't watched IGN first since Gotham Knights, I guess. Yeah. But let me just give you my thoughts. All right. I'm not even about to sit there and try to do all the buds or whatever. This game looks really good. I'm pretty excited. The game is really good single player, and you know, you could do the support hunters. It just seems like it's making it a lot more approachable for new players. And I think that's good because you want more people to come in. You don't want them to come in and be super confused, kind of how Destiny is when new people come in or when returning players come. You don't want it to be super confusing because then you just bleed players. So the fact that they're doing this shows that they understand that for the new player that haven't played for the first time, they want them to be able to get into this game and stick with it. And, you know, that's more money for them. That's more people for us to play with. And, you know, a bigger community. You know, a bigger community. We probably get more stuff. We might get more than, well, no, I ain't gonna lie. I don't think we're gonna get more than one DLC. But, you know, you just never know. You just never know. This might be the best selling Monster Hunter in the whole franchise because I know it's World or Rise that's the best selling, but I know World has more sold. I could be wrong about that too. I'm not 100%, but I think, but this is a very good co-op game if you're looking for any co-op games, especially if you're into like making your own builds and you want like different type of weapons to use. You don't want to see people using the same weapons. Granted, you're going to see people using every weapon, but you start off with 14. You can choose from the 14 weapons, and they all have very distinct play styles. And it's a good single player game. You can play with people. You don't have to look up videos or anything like that. You can go in and kind of do your thing. Or you could just go play with people, join the Discord, join the community, and get some help and have a good time. But like I said, I'm excited. I could probably be biased. Let me know y'all thoughts, and let me know what y'all thought of the IGN first. I feel like they covered some pieces. Now, granted, I would have wanted to see like layered stuff, but I know that we would have to wait. The stuff I wanted to see, we have to wait for release. But you know, my name is Mario, and I don't know what the next video is going to be, but we're going to figure it out. I'm out of here. Peace.